We are starting to stream now. And we should be live now, gentlemen. Welcome back!
Hi.
What's up?
How's it going?
Gabs in the house.
And, yeah, you go first.
Jay.
And Hector. Hi.
Hector heard his voice lately, and now he's...
I don't know. It just sound weird to me.
You
Sounds fine to
sound
me.
fine.
Okay.
You sound like Hector.
Well,
The
I
dude
mean,
that we all...
I mean, if that's the case, then I do not sound normal. I'm just weird all around.
Define normal.
Yeah, I mean...
Did you know that there's a psychology handbook of what it means to be normal? It is thick.
It's thick?
Thick.
Like THICC
thick.
or like...
All of it.
Okay.
Thick.
Making sure.
Yeah, just think about that, right? Because like if you get like diagnosed with
normal?
something that's an abnormal condition, you must have a definition for normal. That's a whole other topic
Yeah,
of
I
conversation.
don't want to hurt my brain today.
Because
I can't have
today
fun.
we're supposed to be talking about Star Wars, Dragon Ball Super, and the latest news.
Yes, indeed.
Which is everything else in pop culture.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so what you got on Star Wars? Oh,
Well, all right. So I heard that we are getting a trailer for the next episode in April.
Oh yeah.
for episode 9.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
This is gonna be directed by the same guy that directed the first episode 7, right?
I'm not sure.
I
I am
did-
not
Abrams,
sure.
I
I did hear
So
something.
I know Ryan
from-
Johnson's out.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah. I mean, the Ryan Johnson.
Okay.
Ryan Johnson. Yeah. But I did hear that we were getting a trailer.
Well, that's good that we're getting
in
it.
April, and I'm kind of glad because I want to see if they fix some things. And
You mean not make the whole movie one long chase scene? That doesn't make sense because they're in outer space where there's no air resistance to slow down ships.
yes.
Well, it's specifically where you trying to talk about.
Well, specifically, we were talking about spin-offs that might be coming, that are in the air, on the waves. Like
I wouldn't mind spin-offs.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. You know how
You already got
bad
like 2, right?
Han Solo,
Han Solo and
Han
Rogue One.
Solo.
Rogue One.
One.
And they are. I think I did hear a rumor that they're trying to make Han Solo into a series. Which I would
honestly
watch.
would watch it.
I heard that movie was so
Solo?
Yeah, I heard it was so boring.
Nope.
Honestly,
seen
You want to
it.
know why you
it's
heard
the
I haven't
Doctor
seen
Strange of Star Wars.
Do you want
Okay.
to know why you heard that it was boring?
Why did I hear it's boring?
Because nobody went to watch it.
yeah,
that's why the
I think
reviews are bad.
episode 7 killed the
It destroyed
wave.
the entire wave. Because the movie was not bad in most regards.
I enjoyed it.
It was an enjoyable movie. It was such a good way to, this was him before he met the crew that you all know and love, while keeping a part of the crew that you all know and love.
Yeah, it was obvious though the story, or predictable rather.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're going to go back in time for Star Wars, you're going to know what's going on.
Yeah, I would love to see how they kind of take his storyline and give him some
And
more.
The reason that nobody went to watch it again is because the movie beforehand didn't do so well. So everybody was like, why would I go watch a movie that was...
Which movie was that? Episode 8?
Yeah, I think it was 8. Yeah, it was 8. It had to have been
It
8.
was episode
Yeah, it
8,
was
yeah.
8.
So that's cool. We're getting a trailer in April.
Yeah.
I did hear also that those who did pre-screen it, that some of them were crying. It was so nice. It was so good.
Oh, wow.
Episode 9?
Yeah, they said
Jeez.
they came out in tears.
That's... okay. All right.
They pre-screened that early?
Yeah, and then the pre-screen for Infinity War, they said it's
Endgame.
3 hours long. Endgame.
It's
Endgame.
still edging at
Jesus.
3 hours.
Yeah, Endgame.
Yeah.
Infinity War. It's still on my brain.
Yeah.
Stop it. I heard that nobody left the theater.
Nobody left?
Right. Nobody during the whole pre-screening. Nobody got up to go take a bathroom break or get something to drink. That's got to say something, right? Because if you are we watching this movie and you're like, I know what's happening. It's cool. I got 5 minutes. This is a relaxing moment. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real
The
quick.
whole movie was just a
3
trip.
hours,
The whole
yeah.
3 hours.
Yeah, you saw that TV
says
spot?
a lot.
Jeez.
Yeah. By the way, while you were off doing things, we spoke about that. And you watched our podcast, right?
I watched some of it.
Some of it.
Yeah, you got to go back and watch it
You
because
gotta
we
go
did
back and watch
talk
it. We
about,
talked about
the
this.
hate, Captain Marvel's hate.
Yeah, so what's up?
The
Yeah, so
hatred.
what's up with that? Like,
30-second recap.
Yeah, 30-second recap.
She's new. Series is 10 years old. I don't want somebody who comes out a month before to have an effect on what the 9.5 years worth I've been doing. Like, if I've been teaching for 10 years and you come in for the last month and you take over, you're like, oh, it was my success. I'm like, you can go shut that front door, bro.
I don't know. I heard like a review embargo was lifted or something like that, and like a bunch of people who got to see like the first screening, like they were like awesome. Like they were saying the movie was like crazy.
Well, I say nothing about the movie.
Really yeah, no, he didn't say anything about that. I don't think his issue is not the movie. His issue is the fact what the role might play
in
Endgame.
Okay. That's my issue.
Like, why are we going through all of this, like the crying and the freaking out and the horrible but beautiful masterpiece that is Infinity War, where everything is at stake, to here's a new character that's basically God.
And then they're going to beat Thanos or whatever, or team up with Thanos.
Who's to say that Thanos is going to get beat or everything's going to be like the same, you know?
Well, we also talked about Thanos might not be the main villain as well.
No.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't think he's even going to be a villain in this movie.
I don't think so either.
No, he's Farmer Thanos. How could you kill Farmer Thanos?
Okay, there is an update on that, by the way. A couple days ago, a Reddit post popped up, and I can't remember who it was by, and they said, check this out. And they went back and they further analyzed the voice, and it matched up more closely, not with Ultron in the Endgame trailer. And it matched up with Thanos.
Oh.
And I went back and listened. I'm like, that could definitely be Thanos' voice and not Ultron's voice.
Wow.
We never give up. That could be like Thanos, like saying Captain and Tony versus Thanos, and nobody gives up till the end.
Oh my God.
Endgame. So that makes that trailer so much more cool.
Oh, that kind of hits hard.
It does, because there's no reason for Ultron to be in there anymore.
Absolutely not. Wow.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about anything more about Star Wars that we got going on that's kind of relevant.
Not really, no. Other than the news that you just told me about everybody coming out in tears from the pre-screening.
That just makes me more excited.
I'm more excited for the trailer that you told us is going to pop down.
Yeah.
I still have to see episode 8.
It may pop out in April.
You know what we should do? We should play it live on here and do like a live reaction.
Oh, yeah.
See what we think about it. First impressions.
Okay.
Oh, a trailer reaction?
Yeah. First impression.
Oh, yeah. All right, we got some more news. What do we got?
Dragon Ball Super?
Dragon Ball Super.
This is more of a discussion based. You started before the podcast, and the listeners need to be able to hear this.
So Jaylin and his fine stature brought up a question. Do you remember the question you asked me, good sir?
I think it was, dang, that just happened like 5 minutes ago.
What did I think about what?
Oh, what did you think about the retcons?
The retcons.
The retcons. Yeah, because you said retcon, and I was like, whoa, buddy. The Super Broly movie was filled with a bunch.
You talking about the retcon of Broly no longer being a bad guy / he's still around?
Well, all of the Saiyans, basically. They're not all bad guys anymore. Because I think you said this. I don't know if it was you that said this or Mr. Luhan, because I was talking to him too. No, it was definitely Mr. Luhan. I was talking to Mr. Luhan in the lunch line, and I was talking about the movie, and he was just like, I kind of didn't like that they just felt too advanced. You know, like I kind of didn't like that they weren't just fight food.
The Saiyans?
Yeah, the Saiyans.
I'm glad they weren't like that.
I'm glad too.
You mean Paragus and Broly?
No, he means like the Saiyans in general, like the Saiyan species. The race, everybody on the planet.
Because the first I saw on it, they were like cavemen. They had like brown like animal fur on them and like these big like.
They felt really. He said.
Yeah, but that was before they moved to Planet Vegeta.
Yeah,
when
they were
thousands of years ago.
That was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they got to Planet Vegeta finally. That's when they had the tech, but they were moved over there.
Yeah, but I think he means like the way they acted. Like they were still very like barbaric and fight, destroy.
They're kind of like the Klingons of that whole universe.
I love Klingons.
But the Klingons were way more advanced. They were using technology and all that.
Are you sure? Because Saiyans had space travel and could conquer a planet.
Yeah, but they can conquer a planet with their hands. They would walk in with their fists
it's still a matter of like technology,
and conquer a planet. And the Klingons would come in with all their guns and bombs.
Well, the Klingons did figure out teleportation, which Saiyans never did.
That's what I'm saying.
Instant TP though.
Okay, but honestly, what I thought about the retcons is thank you to some of them, specifically.
Wait. What can we say? Which retcons like?
Yeah.
What retcons they were though?
If you haven't seen the movie, get up off of your butt and go watch this movie. Until then, if you don't like spoilers, bye. You've been warned. So, again, you've been warned. So,
Just tell me, man.
yes, we can talk about the retcons and what they are now. So, the Bardock retcon and the way they are, the Saiyan retcon in general, there's how the Saiyans were as a race into society and all that. I loved it. I thought it was a lot better.
I like
for
the race
one
too.
because it kind of showed a little more personality. And I'm 100% not the first person to say this, but Akira Toriyama is a lazy man.
He does forget
He's
a ton.
so lazy, right? And going back on this retcon, it shows that he kind of cares more, and he's not like forgetting as much because he got back and he was like, and a bunch of his other supervisors, they were all like, man, they're a little, for all the technology they have, they're a little barbaric. Let's kind of tone it back just a bit. Let's kind of make them this regal, class-driven society that they were meant to be. And it worked out really well. I liked how Bardock wasn't just some dude who just got out of a fight, got injured, and saw the future, and he was just like, send our baby to Earth. It's like, what? Send our baby to Earth now. I'm going to go kill Frieza. They were like, wait, okay.
Well, he never sent Goku to Earth. He saw the
I
prophecy.
yeah,
also,
he
I
saw the
love like
prophecy
how
of
you like
Goku going to
automatically,
Earth.
how you should like automatically know who that is. Like without like when a movie doesn't say anything and it leaves it up to like the viewers to like understand like this guy looks like Goku. I'm think that's his dad.
Well, everybody
So,
knows Goku by now.
Everybody
Yeah,
knows
but it's
Goku.
like-
But then they see the scar and they're like, wait a minute, is that his dad?
I just love stuff like that. Really.
And I loved it. And I loved how, oh my god, I loved how they got Gine in there. Like, actually, like, we see how she reacts to Goku going off, and it was... The true tragedy of that movie is that one scene when they send him off. Don't forget us, Kakarot!
What does he do?
Earth, hits his head,
First thing he
forgets
happens.
everything. That's so tragic.
That's funny.
Yeah, I love that retcon. What other retcon were you talking about?
Basically, like from what I understood, I really didn't like go back and watch all the older movies, but what I thought was like he was sent to Earth to basically conquer or destroy the planet.
That's Saiyan's word.
And then
for
like
competition.
and then so like Gohan finds him and he's like, I know he's like the most horrible baby like ever, and then he falls off a cliff and hits his head, and it's like now he's like the most lovable thing. Like is that still like
Yeah.
Yeah,
canon?
that's canon.
origin story.
That is complete still canon. Like the way he got to Earth, and he's a little older.
Yeah.
He got to Earth a little older than in the original, because in the original he was literally an infant. And when he gets there, he actually has some comprehension things. Like he can look up and kind of see the world around him for what it is instead of just crying and sleeping. So that's still the same. Like he gets to Earth, Grandpa Gohan picks him up.
Yeah, that's all the same.
That's all the
Listen,
same.
the best part of the whole movie was the change in the dynamic between Broly and Paragus, as well as the change in Broly. Because the original movie, right, Broly was just uncontrollable. He had a mind control. He was a brute. When he was a Super Saiyan, and in this one, right, like he was like an actual decent human being who was being lied to and manipulated. He was a good person.
Yeah.
Broly was a good. Now when I saw that, I felt something different about this fight, as opposed to
a part of you was kind of like, Broly, just win. A part of you at some point, and like after a certain area, like after you get to know Broly as a character, you're kind of vouching for him. In the fight between these
because
people.
he feels like he is fighting for the honor of his family, and Paragus is still the manipulator, still the POS. Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah.
I did not like the take on Frieza at all.
Why not?
I loved it.
It was not within his character at all.
Why do you think that?
Are you talking about the height thing?
How he goes and finds Broly, says, "Oh, I got a couple of Saiyans here for you. You can go find a planet Earth. I'm gonna see how strong I can get you. And oh, you the legendary Super Saiyan? I'm gonna bring you in front of Goku and Vegeta, and then I'm gonna make them fight. Okay?
What do you think?
And then the whole time he's got the Dragon Balls in his hands.
Yeah.
That dude would have opened up the Dragon Balls immediately and wished for immortality. That is still his number one goal.
Well, he explained that in the movie.
He explained it.
It was terrible.
Why do you think that though? Like,
Because Frieza is all about Frieza.
Yeah.
It does not matter. Everything else is fun and games at that point. Frieza wants to get more powerful than Beerus. He wants to be a god of destruction,
does.
right? The best way for him to do that is to make that wish for immortality right then and there as soon as possible, all right? There's no, like, let me, Kansas City shuffle these people, and they look left and I go right, and that's the Kansas City shuffle. No, none of that, right? Just do it.
yeah, I kind of just a tiny bit disagree.
No. But I hear y'all. I hear y'all.
No.
I 100%
Watch
hear
after
your
that
argument.
tournament.
Change my mind.
Okay, in the movie,
Yeah.
right? The
Change-
reasoning behind, well, the quote unquote reasoning behind not wishing for immortality is because he's already died, and he's been to hell, and it's it's horrible.
He hates it.
It's hell,
He wants to die.
but he doesn't really care about that. First of all, you want to know why?
Tell me why.
Remember how you said Frieza's all about Frieza?
Yes.
He's confident enough that he knows he's not going to die.
He will die eventually. Everything
Of course
dies.
he will. Of course he will. But he's confident enough that he's going to find a way to avoid that death without becoming immortal.
No.
First of all,
at
because
all.
he said that
Goku exists and Beerus exists, and they are still more powerful than him.
he's
and
going to
Whis.
kill Goku.
No, he's not.
That's what he thinks he's
He thinks he's going to, but there's a chance.
Yeah, that's what. But you're missing what I'm saying. You know that it can't happen. We all do.
I'm not missing what you're saying.
No,
I'm just
no,
saying
no,
that your reasoning is entirely incorrect.
We know that it can't happen, but he thinks that it can't happen.
Here's another thing that's hypocritical about that statement. Now, I'm saying you're hypocritical.
Yeah.
I'm saying Frieza is.
Yeah, Frieza's a
right?
hypocrite.
If
That's what he
if
is.
Frieza brought Broly to the planet, knowing that he had the power up to exceed Goku and Vegeta, which in itself is an absurd statement, right?
'Cause-
But let's say he believes in the premise that he could get Broly's max power level up. That way he's going to be my henchman in the future, right? Whatever.
yeah.
Then that means that Broly has the natural talent that Frieza still does not have. And he will still be more powerful than Frieza.
Oh.
All right? So Frieza's training somebody that's more powerful than him. This isn't the Sith Lord universe here, guys.
No,
right?
it's not.
Like, so just what you're saying, oh, he's going to kill. No. I'm telling you, here's what really happened. I'm telling you. Shitty writing. Because they had already used the immortality on Zamasu. And they couldn't play that card again so recently. And so they had to find another way that they felt was within his character. But the only thing that's within his character is get what's mine. What's mine is mine is mine.
Real quick. You done?
Go for it, bro.
All right, cool.
You
So you remember those two little weird short people that he has on him as advisors?
Yes.
Remember that really like what's the word I'm looking for? Malicious looking one. Maleficent. The really malicious looking one with like the bowl cut that had like bags under her eyes.
Yes, I know who you're talking
She's
about.
manipulating Frieza.
Nah.
100,000%.
Give me a how.
Frieza is a young, entitled little brat.
Sure.
And those people aren't exactly the hardest to just go, you want what you want, right? Obviously.
So you think that
this is going to do it. He only cares about how his army sees him and how much of a god, quote unquote.
No, Frieza doesn't care about his army.
Yes, he does. Well, okay, he doesn't care for their well-being, but he cares for how everybody sees him, obviously.
Right, he wants to be feared by the entire universe.
That's what he's
Because
saying.
you can't rule if there aren't people to rule.
That little tiny gumball of a thing is telling him, these people. They even said it in the movie. They even said he was just like, these people call you short,
So
right?
do you think Frieza's main goal was just to kill Goku?
No,
Vegeta?
not at all.
His main goal is not to do that. His main goal is to subjugate
Yes.
and show everyone, I'm on top of you, you're under me. That is how this goes.
Yes, I agree with that.
He doesn't.
100%.
He doesn't care about like if Vegeta and Goku die. They
Whatever.
got their comeuppance anyway, so like cool.
I mean,
like,
he would love it.
yeah,
because
he'd
he hates
laugh.
him.
He would be like, dude, just like
But he'd be bored again.
he'd be like, just scream.
Exactly.
Like
So why would he risk for immortality?
that's what. That's what
He's
I'm
risking.
saying.
He wants immortality because that he still needs the power. He still needs that assurance that he can still dominate regardless of wherever. And it's the threat of Beerus. My whole thing is predicated on the threat of gods of destruction.
Okay, that's cool and all, but did you forget that Frieza is in canon a prodigy?
Not at all.
You didn't forget that.
Not
So
at all.
that's why
What?
you didn't put it in your.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Frieza, we both know that he's arrogant. He's a
Of
prodigy.
course he is.
He thinks he's better than what he really is, which is part of that dynamic.
Of course.
And that's why he couldn't control the Hakai given to him by Toppo.
By Toppo,
And-
yeah,
right,
because
right.
Toppo was-
He could control the Hakai, but he couldn't control that massive amount. So Frieza knows, and there's probably something in there where he's been manipulating Hakai power some way. Right? All right, let's change the subject real quick
Okay.
because we got more to talk about.
Yeah. We do.
Because that movie had so much cool stuff to it, other than just the Frieza dynamic. Like giving Goku new moveset, where he controlled Broly using his energy aura. I've never seen that from Goku
His God
before.
key, just
Yeah,
calm
just
down.
boop, and then Broly broke out. I thought that was an interesting
Broly took it and did
technique.
it himself.
He did.
He took it and did it himself. He took it and he was just like,
And he reversed it.
Vegeta, oh no, Goku, come here, homie.
Yeah.
And Goku was like, oh.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
I love the retcon making Broly a good guy, and then Goku at the end fixing that. Right?
Hey, Broly, you can call me Kakarot. Instant transmission out of there. I was like,
that
that's
was pretty
great.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can I go back to that one retcon?
Never.
We're talking
Which
about? We
one?
can't.
No, we're done.
Okay,
I'm kidding
alright.
with you, man. Let's go. Let's hear it.
All right, but look. All right, so like
I want to hear it.
it came back to me. So like a low class Saiyans were sent like to planets to destroy them, so like they can like sell it to the highest bid, right?
Right. They're mining the planet.
Depending
Yeah,
on
so
that
that-
circumstance, yeah.
So yeah, so that was like the original reason before this retcon that Goku was sent to Earth, right?
Yes, to take over
Yes,
the planet.
that's what happened. They were like, hey, do it. That's why when Raditz showed up, he was just like, there's still a civilization on this Earth.
Yeah, so that's the retcon that I was not okay with, basically, in this movie. He was being sent to Earth just because the planet was going to be destroyed. Like, that's
Yeah.
basically just Superman to me, and I don't like
Yeah,
that.
Right. It was a M-class planet or whatever.
Yeah, and then what's his face? Bardock. Bardock was just gonna be like, "Hey, Gine, listen. I know he's young. Oh, also they changed that. They don't get sent there as infants anymore, like babies.
Yeah,
Well,
and
they
I don't like
do,
that either.
But it's rare. Like, I didn't remember that scene when baby Vegeta and baby Raditz. Well, they're kids.
Right.
But kid Vegeta and
That
kid
was
Raditz
funny.
were sitting there and they were eating like barbarians, and Nappa and some other dude were just sitting there and they were like, "What? Planet Vegeta's destroyed?"
Yeah.
And that
I did
whole
not
planet-
realize that
whole
was
planet-
Nappa until I went back to watch it
Yeah, he
like
had
on
the
my
hair.
phone. I did not see that.
And the whole planet was kind of messed up because they had taken it and conquered it, right? That I like. I kind of like that retcon because like
Hate it.
Well,
think-
they
think
shouldn't
of-
have changed it.
think of the practicality.
That's the lore. Now the whole
Yeah,
Raditz,
it's like-
it's gone. It's jumbled.
Basically, yeah. Well, not really.
It's jumbled.
Not exactly, because what he wasn't there. Remember, he wasn't there on the planet when they sent him away. So he thinks that he was sent to that planet for the purpose of conquering it. He doesn't know that they were sent to that planet because they could go and get him back at any time.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying that.
So I'm saying that-
Raditz, that instance when Raditz came to Earth, he was still believing what he was told, whereas
Exactly.
the reality of the situation has now been truly brought to light later in the storyline.
Exactly. That's
So
what
we
I'm
have
saying.
all been duped until now.
Every single person has been duped until this exact moment. That's what I'm saying.
I see.
And it makes sense.
Interesting.
I'll have to think about that. I might have to let that marinate for a while. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that retcon because think of the practicality of it. I get that they're Saiyans and they're strong. Why would you send a baby? Why send a baby? Send something that can walk, move, bite, do anything
remember.
on its own and remember, so that it can learn faster. And once it gets there, it's gonna be like, all right, these guys
Yeah.
are weak. Let's do it. But as a baby, like. They don't have an unbreakable will. Look at how Broly turned out. He didn't hit his head on anything. He just showed up on a
Right.
planet and he's still fine. He's not a conquering dude. He's just a dude who's out there to live.
I did like how they said that Broly was in simulated training. And I was like, okay, well, at least he's got something, right? Like, he just doesn't show up and fight against the greatest fighter we all know and hold his own. Because then there goes the whole technique thing. Because, it's just power levels. And we're all sick and tired of just powering up.
Yeah.
I also enjoyed, I don't know about you guys, I thought it was cool how Frieza's like, I wonder if this will work. Oh, poof, when he kills Paragus.
That was funny.
Broly,
Now, that was pure Frieza.
that was funny. I kind of found that
got what he deserved.
hilarious. Like, I was sitting there watching it in my living room, and then he was just like, I wonder. And he was flashing back to when he exploded Krillin, and I was like, no, he's not going to do it. This is how he dies, and then he turns around and he does it, and he puts on an act, and I was like, wow, there's Frieza.
And Broly turned that Super Saiyan. And I was like, that's cool.
By the way, you had a complaint about their hair. about the movie.
Yeah.
Green.
It's one specific scene in general, and it's probably nitpicky. Some people are going to love it. Some people are going to hate it, like myself. I'm not saying I'm a hater. I'm just saying I just think that there are times when you use 3D as opposed to when they used it. When Goku and Vegeta teamed up at the end when they were both Super Saiyan Blue and they both threw a Kamehameha wave and Final Flash together, and that whole 2 seconds worth, right, where they slowed it down and they went 3-dimensional, it looked very out of place. And here's the reason for it, is because when I'm watching a movie, I don't want to I don't want to remember that I'm watching a movie. I want to be engrossed in the storyline, and I want to forget that I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
The moment that 3D effect showed up, my brain first of all triggered. I'm like, this is not even the same animation. Number two, it looks like it doesn't even look like, it looks like a video game.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm out of the movie and I'm out of the storyline for 30 seconds, and it completely, all of my feelings, like, hit a brick wall, and I had to restart all over again.
Yeah, I feel like they only should have used that 3D animation on like the auras. Like, you remember when Broly did this like giant explosion like around like the Rocky area, and it was,
Sure.
like, a big
Yeah.
green dome.
Or like
Like,
when
that's
you
only
saw
what
it from
you
his
use those
point
for.
of view, the
Yeah.
fight, which is dope.
That was
right?
awesome.
That's 3D. I could totally use that, right? Because that's brand new.
Vegeta fight, bro. Like,
Yo,
oh my
Vegeta
God.
was cool.
I love how
God.
they put him finally, over how many years Vegeta has been in the scene, almost 20 years now. They finally made him not look like bantha fodder or like cannon fodder.
There was like one
something.
out of place thing he did where he let Goku take over. Like he just like didn't even say anything. You know that, like, that's not Vegeta.
Well, that's not exactly out of place, not anymore. After the events of Super, they started learning how to fight together.
Right, well, but
Especially after the
Vegeta
tournament
had
power.
only been red. He was only Super Saiyan God. He wasn't blue.
Yeah,
And
he
then
wasn't blue
Goku's
yet.
like, my turn. And Vegeta, you're right. Vegeta said, go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, like that's
Also,
that's out of place.
I mean,
a
kind
little, but,
of also like.
he at least would have argued.
Yeah, I think I can kind of see what you're saying, sort of.
Do you
Like,
think that Vegeta was just so confident?
I think Vegeta would have looked over and been like, "Are you sure? Like, I want to kind of like."
He didn't say anything. He's like, hey, Goku's
But
like,
what
hey,
were you saying?
it's my turn.
like-
And
It's like, do you think Vegeta was just so confident because he had read Broly's power level to be here, and he said
They do
that,
that a lot.
and he said, he's not going to be able to get farther than this, and my red is just annihilating him.
And this is gonna be boring, so
Yeah.
I have one question though. So
Yeah.
how do Saiyans sense power levels? Like the feeling, I guess, because you know how they like, oh, there's somebody on that ship and it's not Frieza.
Right.
Well, it
Like,
wasn't
how do they
Saiyans.
sense? Well, how do they sense that?
It
in that,
was
you know,
it was
universe?
it was
And
when
then-
Goku went to
Kames.
yeah,
That was
when
the first
Goku
time
went to
that they-
Kame, and it was Kami's technique and their teachings that he was just like, you don't need those things, and you don't need these these extra things. You can just sit there, sense the ki that's coming off of these people, and you can find them. You can see who they are. You can identify, because everybody's ki is different. So it wasn't the Saiyans that did it. It was Kami.
Now,
Okay.
here's the thing, from a scientific point of view, because he could sense Broly on the other side of the universe, right? Basically, think about Boo. Boo was in the universe, and he could sense Goku and on the Kai's planet. So you're talking vast interstellar distances covered
yeah.
with the sensation, which is less than a second.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it took me a minute. Whereas even Goku and Whis were like, Whis takes me 24 minutes to get here, and Goku's like, nah, cool. I just got to sense the power level, right? I have no idea. I don't know of anything in physics yet that can transcend the speed of light, other than things like quantum entanglement. If I have two particles that are entangled and I change the spin of one, the other thing instantly changes its spin as well, right? And that can be across the entire universe, right? So there is a mechanism available for that. Now, what if it's like a string? For example, you have one end of a string, I have the other end of a string, and we go across some distance, and I pluck it, and that vibration travels through that string, right, at a certain speed. Now, is there a mechanism which the whole string, the moment it moves, that the whole string moves together as one, and that way it could, regardless of where it is and how long it is.
Just moves at the same time.
Right, so there has to be some either particle or
What
some...
about wormholes?
Well, wormhole is a bending of space that connects two different spots, right?
warping.
So it's a warping. So then that would have to mean that where Goku is located and where everybody else is located is all within the same overall space. That's like Thor. Think about like the Marvel universe, right? There's all these universes. There's 7 of them, right, or something like that.
Well, as we know.
That they tell us about.
Hella, thank you for that.
Right. And he says it's like a tree, and they're all kind of connected to each other, right? But they're still and ultimately in one galaxy, not galaxy, but universe, right? Yeah. But they're still connected to each other. They're just across vast distances. I don't know, because that would have to be possible. And they say, oh, we're all in different universes. Well, if you're all in different universes, 12 universes, and then they're all within this realm of Zeno, well, then what is that base fundamental that they're all a part of? What tree trunk are we looking at here? Because right now we're looking at all the branches of this, all 12. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know of a particle that can travel that far that fast. What about a tachyon? Tachyon doesn't follow that. Well, yeah, it kind of does, right? I don't understand that yet.
The physics hurt.
And I thought about this for a lot too, guys.
Yeah.
I could look into it some more and see if there's anything in science that we know travels faster than the speed of light. That is theoretical, and it might be possible, but it would have to follow some kind of elementary process.
One more thing. All right, this may just be animation, but I always see this in the show. So you remember when Broly was getting off of the ship?
Yeah.
And
you're walking down that.
Yeah. So there's this thing wind comes out of his face, and it's blowing against what is that? Is that just a showcase of power or what? He's walking down.
And then you see air and
and it goes.
Right.
They block it.
Right. It looked like.
I think that was literally just to show how much power this guy's hiding. Because if you remember when they looked up, they were like, "Oh, there's somebody on that ship. That's not Frieza."
Crazy.
And they were all realizing he's kind of got a pack on him. But as you know, Vegeta and Goku are both guilty of this. They underestimate everyone they fight. Oh, Goku not as much. Goku hasn't done it as much. Goku fights everybody fairly sort of. All right. But
we're gonna have to wrap this up, gentlemen. It's about time for us to end.
Okay.
We can absolutely continue this later on. Before we leave, recommendations for the listeners. Out of 10, what would you give Dragon Ball Super, and do you recommend it?
I personally give Dragon Ball Super 8 out of 10. And yes, I recommend it highly.
Okay.
If you're a big Dragon Ball fan, yeah. I give it an 8. 8 out of 10.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Whoa. Where's your rating?
My rating?
Yeah, you can't just give us the rating and then walk away with it. What are you talking about, bro?
Oh, man. I've seen just about every Dragon Ball Z movie. I've seen them all over and over again. This was so revolutionary for me. This movie. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
9?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's right below, and this might shock you, right? Tree of Might.
What? What the heck?
I love Tree of Might so much.
We're getting duped. This isn't real.
I love, even though it's not canon in any way, I just love the Tree of Might storyline so much.
Okay.
I love that movie.
Okay, I respect you.
It has everything I want.
I respect your decision.
All right.
Sort of.
We'll talk about more later if you want.
All right.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening.
See you guys later.
Peace.